Hello, folks. This story was sent to me by a subscriber and is intended for educational purposes only. I do not glorify substances of any kind. Like, subscribe, and let me know your experiences in the comments. Thank you for watching. 800. LSD. I became a pineapple in a corporate office for clouds. I dropped the tabs at 1111 MB because I thought the symmetry would help me align with the universe. That didn't happen. What did happen was I sat cross-legged on my bathroom floor 20 minutes later, staring at the plunger like it was auditioning for a Shakespearean role. My hands started to melt, not physically, but emotionally. They became nostalgic. I looked at them, and they seemed to miss the 90s. Around the hour mark, I felt myself become very, very spherical. I didn't look spherical, but I felt round and tropical. I walked to the mirror to check on my face, but my face was now a spreadsheet made of light and apology. I blinked, and suddenly, I was no longer in my apartment. I was sitting at a cubicle. I was a pineapple, a real, honest-to-fruit pineapple, wearing a clip-on tie and holding a coffee mug that read, #1 Drifter. Around me were clouds, dozens of them. Puffy, semi-transparent clouds in business casual. One of them leaned over the partition and whispered, "Quarterly precipitation reports are due at noon." I panicked. I didn't even know where I kept the reports. I opened a drawer, and it extended into infinity. Inside were thousands of tiny umbrellas, all whispering memories of romantic disappointments. I slammed it shut. The pineapple that was me began to sweat syrup. The cloud supervisor floated over and patted me on the leaves. "Breathe in the fog," it said. "Become the drizzle." I tried. I think I almost missed. Suddenly, the fire alarm went off. But it wasn't a sound, it was a smell. Burnt toast and cosmic failure. The ceiling tiles peeled away, revealing an interdimensional conference room where an octopus in a suit was giving a PowerPoint presentation on my unresolved childhood confusion about paperclips. I tried to explain myself, but I had no mouth, only a vague buzz of citrus guilt. Then things shifted. I was on a conveyor belt, made of memories I didn't recognize. Each one passed by like a grocery item. There was a giraffe wearing a traffic cone. A dentist who winked at me with his elbow. A breakfast I never had but somehow missed dearly. I rolled along until I fell off the end and landed in a hammock strung between two timelines. A floating goldfish named Carla swam through the air and said, "You need to let go of the metaphors." I told her I was trying. "Try harder," she said, then dissolved into a disco ball made entirely of my kindergarten drawings. The clouds returned. This time, they were solemn. They gathered around me and asked me to participate in a ritual they called the Great Evaporation. I agreed without understanding. They lifted me up, my pineapple body weightless, and began chanting in binary. My consciousness expanded until I could taste humidity. I felt like I had learned something, but I wasn't sure what. Then, a sharp sound pierced the illusion. My real-world phone vibrated somewhere in the distance, snapping a thin thread, tethering me to cloud society. The office began to collapse. Papers flew like birds. Desks turned to vapor. I was ejected through a portal shaped like my own skepticism. I landed back in my apartment, curled up next to the toilet, whispering, "Evaporation isn't personal," over and over. My cat sat in the doorway watching me, his expression unreadable but judgmental. I got up slowly and staggered to the couch. The fabric felt like a familiar X. The ceiling fan was spinning like it had news, but wouldn't share. I checked the time. 4 hours had passed. My hands had forgiven me. The pineapple within me had retired. I poured a glass of water and toasted the invisible clouds who gave me a job, a cubicle, and a second chance at mist.